Hello everybody, this is Anna, also known as Ananita on Ravelry, and on the screen now you can see where you else can find me in the internet. I'm watching there because Benny is staring at me. At the moment we are... Oh, he's joining me, I think. Come here. At the moment we are in a hotel room. It's the 28th of December. I'm on my way back home to Austria. I were at my parents' house, as most of you know if you have followed me with my Vlogmas episodes, and now I'm recording for you the year in review, so to say, because I know that I won't be able to do this over the days around New Year's Eve because my boyfriend will be with me and I want to have the time with him. So you will see this, I think, on the day of New Year's Eve. Yeah. So I don't know how good the light really is and how good the sound is. I will do the best I can in post-production though, so that you can see everything very good and hear everything. I still have wet hair. I just took a shower. It's now 2:30. So 2:30, that means 2 hours ago we arrived. So yes, I just take the time when the natural light still is there. So in this episode I will talk to you about all the things I finished in the year of 2017, then about special things I have experienced and my goals for the next year. Okay, let's start with January. In January 2017, I think you can see it on the screen now, I finished the 3 Colors of Kashmir shawl and the Huhui shawl. I started the Huhui and finished it in January. So I wear the 3 Colors of Kashmir shawl in the winter every single day. I have to say it's not the warm... I don't use it as a scarf, because I use it. I'm wearing always something like this in the winter over my pullovers or dresses and so on, or I wear a normal hand-knit shawl, and then if I go outside or when I go outside I wear my jacket, and over the jacket I wear the 3 Colors of Kashmir shawl, so it keeps me warm but also stylish. So, but only this wouldn't keep me warm. And the Huhui shawl I pretty much wear every second day or so instead of such a loop. It's a very nice lightweight shawl. It's not so thick because of the lace panels, and it's very stylish, and it keeps the way you put it on you. It's not getting off your shoulders, for example, or something. It's really nice. It always depends on the yarn you use, needless to say. In February I finished the Pure Joy shawl, also by Jowie Locatelli. I was on a Locatelli kick. 1 bird of happiness, 1 cat in the window, and 1 heart ornament. In March I knit Simple House slippers. I think I don't have the best picture of them, and I already gifted them. Also the washcloth and the makeup remover cloth. It's a dishcloth pattern, but I knit it for the skin because I always use sponges to wash my dishes, so I think it's nicer for the skin in a soft cotton. If you hear Benny, he's barking at something outside. In April I only knit 1 pair of socks, and just because I wanted to give to my mother, because she so badly wanted hand knit socks and really needed them because she wasn't able to wear normal socks, industrial produced socks. So, and these were in a Felice yarn in the candy jar colorway. I received from, I think, Sarah or Nina. I think from Sarah from the Love So Cool podcast. In May, I did the Among the Shadows shawl. I did this in a homespun house, Serve the Servants colorway. And I knit the Across the Pond shawl, and that was made out of Austrian yarn. The white contrasting was Austrian yarn, Volland, and the main colorway was fondant fiber in Cornflower Meadow. This shawl was such a pleasure to knit. I really can see me doing another Among the Shadows shawl. Across the Pond shawl, because it's a very quick knit. It doesn't look like a quick knit, but it is. I have to admit, the lace border can take a while. You think, oh, just one more repeat, but the rows are already so long, so they take a while. But it flew off my needles, like all the shawls in this year. I don't know, it was a shawl year for me. In August, I only did one pair of socks, and that was my Benny. And these were my Stars Hollow socks, my autumn socks, so to say. And then in September, I didn't do anything. It's often the case that I have a few months where I didn't do anything. And in October, I finally finished my Georgetown cardigan. I think I started it in the beginning of the year, and I just didn't pay attention to it. I don't know why. I think it were the thick needles, because I knit them on 4.5 millimeter needles and 4 millimeter needles, and they are very thick in my opinion, because I mostly knit with at the most 3.5 millimeters. And I knit this out of Shulana Cashmere Tweed in the burgundy colorway, which is unfortunately discontinued. In November, I got back into the knitting, or let's say in the making mood, because I think I didn't podcast for whole 3 months, and I think it was from May to August. Yeah, because, okay, May I finished Among the Shadows and Across the Pond. I have my notes here. That's where I'm looking at. Juni, July. Okay, June and July I didn't knit anything, and I think I didn't podcast. And in August I didn't podcast either. And that was it can happen again. So be warned that it might happen that I'm just away from YouTube, and I come back. I always come back, but I always have times where I don't really enjoy to knit or to do anything like that. And then mostly I color or I craft with paper or something. And in that time I didn't podcast. But in November, so in October I finished my cardigan, and that brought me back into the swing of creating something. In November I did the granny strap shawl, and now I can say for who it was. For my mom. For those who didn't know, because in Vlogmas and so on I wasn't allowed to tell. So the granny stripe shawl out of the gradient yarn, which is not plied, made from Maschenwerk. It's an Austrian hand, not dyer. They knot the different gradient yarns together so that it is one big gradient. Then I did also made out of Maschenwerk gradient yarn, not plied, the New York shawl by Claudette Crochet. So the granny stripe shawl and the New York shawl are patterns by Claudette Crochet. Only YouTube tutorial patterns, not printed versions. And I think both are only available in German, but you can do it without understanding what she says, because she is showing everything multiple times so that really everybody can follow easily. And that brought me into the world of crocheting, because I started to crochet. I always wanted to learn it again. I learned it at primary school. Every child in Germany has to learn crocheting and knitting and stitching and embroidery and sewing, everything in school. So I learned all the techniques, but I have forgotten them. And my mom wanted to have, so I asked her, what's your wish for Christmas? Are there any presents you really want to have? And then she said, a triangular shawl. So, and she said this in November, I think, and I knew I won't be able to finish a whole triangular in that size. So like the New York shawl here, I have this By coincidence, I have it here. Benny, aus. So that's the New York shawl, and my mom's granny strap shawl is the same size. I wouldn't have been able, yeah, to finish a knit version of this. No way. So I had so I thought, okay, crocheting is so much faster. You have to learn it. So in November I started to crochet, and in November I finished also the puff stitch set. It's in my car, but you see a picture here. And a brioche hat. This I have given away already because that was a paid for knit. And I sewed the lavender bags. Yeah, the lavender bags I gifted many people for Christmas this year, and they really loved them. So it was a good Christmas present idea. In December, I crocheted, I think, around 13 to 15 stars or snowflakes. I think 2 snowflakes and the rest were stars. I made a pair of socks for my dad out of the chicory colorway Madeleine Tosh. I knit another pair of house slippers, simple house slippers. I knit the big black hat out of Lana Grossa Olympia, also a Christmas present for my best friend, for my female best friend. Then I sewed a bag for my mom. I knit a big blue hat, also Olympia Lana Grossa for me. You have seen it many times. I knit the Christmas socks for my mom. Now I can say all that stuff. You will see all the pictures hopefully on the screen. She loved them. She unwrapped them, the Christmas present, and she said, "No, they are so pretty. The Christmas yarn, awesome." And I said, "Yeah, Mama, you said you loved all the Christmas colors. She didn't know that something like that exists because it's not typical in Germany." So I remembered this, and so Mom, I did make a pair of Christmas socks. And I crocheted my Christmas shawl out of Woolen Yarn Stack, the Halls colorway, and a red contrasting. I knit 2 birds of happiness, 2 sock ornaments, and I finished my fall socks, all in December. So all in 2017, I knit or crocheted 8 shawls. So I made 8 shawls, but 3 of the 8 are crocheted. I did 16 ornaments, 3 hats, 1 cardigan, 5 pairs of socks, and 2 pairs of simple house slippers. That's not bad. It was definitely the year of shawls this year. In my active time, I pretty much did 1 shawl per month, but 3 months I didn't do anything. So now I need a sip of tea. If you're curious, it's David's tea. Nina gifted it to me. White chocolate chai. In my to-go thing. I always take with me for the car drives, so I can put my coffee into here. Always when I stay at hotel rooms, I take with me a tiny water kettle for 1.5 liter and some tea and instant coffee and milk in these tiny little, cups, and some cookies and all that stuff, so that I have all the snacks with me. And I'm so glad that I took my water bottle with me, because I experienced it once that they forgot to turn off the heating and it was freezing cold outside, -degrees, so negatives, and the room just didn't get warm. So now I have the heating on. I turned it on again, but it's not that cold outside. We have positives, but it's nice to have it on my lap. And my dog also keeps me warm. He's next to me again, my tiny little friend. Okay, now I want to talk to you about special things I did in the year of 2017, what is fiber related. So I always dreamed of attending yarn festivals like Vogue Knitting, or like Edinburgh Yarn Festival, or the one in New York, always in autumn, Rhinebeck. So it's not a popular thing in the German-speaking countries, but it's growing. The community is growing, and I was able to attend 3 yarn events. You pretty much see always the same people and always the same vendors, but it's okay. It's really okay. I like it every time I go there. So on the 30th of April, I went to the Vienna Wool and Design Festival, but I was alone. And it was very spontaneous. On that day, I also did a podcast, if you're curious about that event. It was very interesting, and I'm glad that I decided to go, because I wasn't sure. It was Sunday, and I was in Lower Austria, not in Vienna, so I had to drive by car and then by train, and it takes so long, but it was awesome. I bought many pretty things there and useful things, and it was just exciting to see such an event. But I was alone, I just bought my stuff, and for 2 minutes or so I sat there on the tables. On the other tables, all the people were knitting and with companions and chatting and drinking coffee, and I sat there and thought, it would be so nice to have a knitting friend. I have friends. I had friends always, but I have never had friends who were sharing my hobbies, my passions. So, but then on the 20th of May, I attended the wool market or wool festival in Dreiskirchen. That's not that far away from Vienna, so that for you it's enough information, because I could explain where it is exactly, but I think you don't know the geography of Lower Austria. So it's not far away. It's between my home and Vienna. And on the 8th of October, I visited the knitting ship. I posted and vlogged about it. And the last 2 events I attended with a lovely woman I met, or I get to know, and we became friends. We made friends together. I don't know if I can say her name. I say it, but I only say the first name. So it's Karina. Karen, you would say in English. And we met already several times for knitting. The knitting ship was her idea, and we met for knitting in a cafe. Not cafe, I'm sorry, I pronounced it wrong again. Cafe, in a cafe, my favorite cafe I talked about many times. And it's so nice, and we will meet each other in the new year again when I'm back in Vienna. So I will be several days in Lower Austria, but I will also be in Vienna in the first weeks of the year, and so we already decided to meet up for knitting. It was very nice, so nice. So that was, I think, a very special thing the last year, to get a knitting friend. We have pretty much the same taste and the same opinions of some things, also not knitting related stuff, and it's just nice. She's awesome. So if you're watching, you are awesome. Du bist super. Yeah. So, and then I have some goals I already talked about. But it's not that kind of goal everyone is setting for themselves at the end of an old year for the next year, because you never keep these things. No. But I wish for the next year. My wishes, let me call them wishes. My wishes for the next year are to learn the US sizes by heart. So we have the metric system. I want to learn your system. So I think I won't be able to calculate with inches, because that's so weird, because I think 1 centimeter, it's an odd number, with point. I don't know, 1.75 or something. That's confusing. But I want to learn the needle sizes and the shoe sizes, because your shoe sizes are so confusing. Really, they are so confusing, because you have different so the same size for a woman has another number for the man, but it's the same foot length, and it's very crazy, because we have only, for example, the normal woman shoe size, we have 36 to 41, and from 42 normally they are men's size, but you also get 42 woman sized, but not many women have 42, so not many women, sorry. So we have just a row of numbers, and because of the different bodies of men and women, we can say, okay, women sizes 36 to 41, 42, and then normally the men have 42, 43 to 48 or so. Yeah. So we don't have different numbers. You have, I think the men's sizes always have 0.5, if I'm not wrong. So I want to learn this, the needle and the shoe sizes, because in that way I don't have to edit the videos all the time when I'm knitting socks and I want to say you which size it is. Then I want to be better with my Ravelry project pages. I really want to keep them as a journal, so that you always can look up things, so that you don't have to ask me in the comments or so. You can also do that, but I think it's easier for you. If you see something in the podcast, you can just hop over to my Ravelry page and see, oh, okay, that's the needle size, or that's the yarn, and so on. And that's because sometimes it's confusing for me to explain something, for example, like the yardage. If I don't know the correct yardage in your sizes, in your system, you can just hop over and you have it translated there. Now Benny is sleeping next to the heating. He's just the cutest little dog ever seen. Okay, so, and then I have two other things. I want to sew at least one dress in the new year, because I have received for Christmas the book I wanted so badly to have. It's the book So Many Dresses, So Little Time, and so written like S-E-W, not S-O. S-E-W, dresses, and then so S-O, little time. Yeah. And it's for beginners, and you can put your own dress together. You can choose from different sleeves and skirts and bodices and collars. And I have already some dresses in mind I want to try out. And so at least I want to finish and be able to wear one dress from this book in 2018. That would be awesome. And the last goal or wish for the next year is to start finally cross-stitching. I so badly want to do cross-stitched ornaments or bookmarks. So these were the wishes for the next year, fiber related. So, and now we come to our alongs, to our make-alongs for the coming year, for 2018. I have planned out every along. It might happen, because life sometimes happens, that one along doesn't happen. But I will talk about the plans I have for the coming year. And I think it would be nice if we could do all the make-alongs. So that's definitely the next make-along will have the name Finish the Skeins Along. Yes, so this will go from January to March, 3 whole months in which you can finish all your opened or started skeins. I have so many big leftover skeins, not only the left, but I don't count for, so minis don't count. I'm sorry, minis don't count, so no scrappy blankets or that stuff, because we had the blanket along. With with finish the skeins, I mean, there is this 50 or 20 gram left over, or 30 gram left over, or even more from a started skein because you did a cardigan and there is just this random rest of yarn. You don't know what to do with it. Because I tidied up all my yarn shelves and boxes, and I have such a huge bag full of started, I call them started, open, leftover yarns, but not minis, not 5 to 15 gram. They are just really big. I'm really talking about 25 gram, 30 grams, so in that range. And I want to make something out of them. Because when I was knitting all the Christmas gifts and crocheting the Christmas gifts, I realized that you can do a lot with less yarn. So for example, the simple house slippers don't need much yarn. Or dishcloth. Or a purse, a crocheted purse doesn't need much yarn. Or this thing here, not a hat without, just to keep the ears warm, that doesn't need much yarn. Or a stocking doesn't need much yarn. So in the first 3 months of the coming year, I want to get rid of all the started skeins of yarn. So I hope you will join me, because I think, yes, they have to go away. I have to think about how we do this. I just say I don't count. If you put it there, I can't change anything, because I'm not the yarn police, I don't want to go through the thread and delete all the scrappy blankets or so, because you can also do a blanket out of all your leftovers, but they are big leftovers, you know what I mean? So I don't want to say blankets are not allowed. I just want to say it's not about the 5 to 15 gram stuff. I think you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not strict. I won't delete anything. I just want to have fun with you, and I think it's an awesome idea. And so this will start on January 1st. I think it's awesome. And will go through the end until the end of March, so the 31st. And I only will open a thread for finished objects, because the most objects are small, I guess. And I will draw the winner from Ravelry. Okay? So I think awesome. So this we will do instead of the sweater along I was going to do, but because Nina is doing a sweater along now from January on, I thought, no, knit your sweaters with Nina. I also do, and finish your started skeins with me. In July, I want to do Christmas in July. Maybe we'll do something in June or so, but these are the alongs I planned already. So Christmas in July, because I realized I can't do my Christmas socks in December. No, I wasn't even able to finish one pair of Christmas socks this year. So I have to do this earlier. Christmas in July. And this will be a Instagram drawing. So this will be CJ along, Christmas July, CJ along, but you will see the details then. And whips are okay then. If you have now some started Christmas socks and you don't feel like knitting on them now, wait for July and we do this together. Wouldn't it be nice? I think so. And then from September until October, again, we will do the fall along. It's now our tradition. We can't break the tradition now. I think we enjoyed it very much. So we will go on with this. I like tradition. In November until December, we will again do the Advent along. So that will be the year, the short alongs. Maybe I have some other ideas, but I think that's already very much. But I want to do 2 year-long knit alongs. And these are the alongs I'm very excited about. I already announced something, sneak peeks. I often said, oh, I'm so excited, I want to share it with you. But I wanted to keep it secret until today, because today is the day. It's nearly, for me, it's nearly the new year, and for you, it's the last day of the old year, and so we should talk about that stuff. Okay, the first year along knit along I want to do with you all, and I hope you join me, is the treasure chest along. We will have a hashtag on Instagram. It will be the TC along. You will get all the information written out and in the description field below this video and on the Ravelry group page. You will get all the information, and maybe you will have the information also on my website. So no worries if you didn't get everything now. So the TC along, the treasure chest along, will be a year-long knit along for the whole year of 2018. What can you put into that treasure chest? So I experienced this year, it doesn't matter how early you start in fall with Christmas presents, you always get into a hurry and stress at the end of the Advent. So I started very early, at the end of October, I think, but although I had to knit the last pair of socks on the 24th of December, so on Christmas Eve, and I don't want to do this again. I want to gift much more hand knit presents or hand sewn presents or hand something presents through the whole year, and also especially for Christmas. So I decided I will buy a fancy box or really a treasure chest. I had this when I was a teenager at my parents' house. I really had a treasure chest. I don't know where it is now. It looked like a treasure chest, and I want to create what kind of crafting, it doesn't matter, presents for all occasions, Easter, birthday, we say names day, so when you have a patron, your name patron, titular patron, my name is Anna, so my saint is Holy Anna, and her day is on the 26th of July, and we celebrate it, and we gift each other something for this day. So for all these occasions and Christmas and everything, anniversaries and so on, I want to create through the whole year, and I want to put them in boxes, and if the occasion comes, I will go into my box and say, oh, I have some hand knit slippers here, I have a handmade blanket here or something. That might be a very good present for Easter for that person. You can put everything into that treasure chest, because it's a treasure. You made it with your hands, with a lot of love and time and high quality materials. So you fill your treasure chest, and you can put out the things during the year. You don't have to wait until the end of the year, like with a box of socks call. So you don't have to take a picture of the box at the end of the year. You can post every once in a while your finished objects in the FO thread and say, hey, I created something and I want to gift it. They have to be gifts, not for yourself. The treasure chest is only for gifts. And I think that would be awesome. In that way, we can manage to gift self-made things without stress. And I think that's what we need. That's what we maker really need. Okay, treasure chest along, TC along. It starts January 1st and it ends 31st of December. So in the whole year of 2018. But as I told you, we have 2 year-long knit-alongs. The second one is I think many podcasters did this already, but I really want to do it so that I really take part in that. It's the Year of Ornaments. And the hashtag for that is why. I had to think of the letter. YOO along, Year of Ornaments. So YOO along. You will read everything everywhere I just told you. Description field below, Ravelry, everywhere. And I would draw the winner from Ravelry, because you have to put your finished objects there. So the Year of Ornaments is just a year of ornaments, because I want to do ornaments for Easter and for Valentine's Day and for Christmas, for my Christmas tree and all that stuff. And I think it would be nice to collect all these ideas and finished objects in one thread in our group so we can share and inspire each other. I really want to do more. I didn't do many this year. The most of the ornaments I did were the crochet stars, and that was at the end of the year and not very, it was spontaneous, Okay, so we will have the hashtag yo along. So YOO along, everything in one word. And on Ravelry we have a thread. I will open it on January 1st. So I will sum it up again. January to March, sweater along, winner, Ravelry. So winner will be drawn in Ravelry. Only FOs. In July, we will have Christmas in July. Whips are allowed. I will draw the winner on Instagram, and the hashtag is CJ along, Christmas July along. It goes only first to last day of July. September until October, fall along, Ravelry, only FOs. November until December, Advent along, Ravelry, only FOs. And then the 2 year-long knit-alongs, treasure chest along, just for fun, the hashtag TC along, but finished objects, Ravelry, and only finished objects. And the other one, year of ornaments, just for fun, the hashtag yo along, and finished objects, Ravelry group, winner, Ravelry. I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome. I thought about our coming year of podcasting and knitting together, or making. These alongs are all make-alongs. I want all the people to be able to join the fun. Stitching, weaving, sewing, spinning, crocheting. Did I say knitting? I think so. Everything. I want coloring. What you can imagine. It not only has to be, so the treasure chest and the year of ornaments really don't have to be fiber related. Not at all. Okay, so these will be our make-alongs in the coming year, and I hope you will, if you have not, now, today, join our Ravelry group, because that's awesome there. And there you will have all the inspiring posts and ideas and encouragements and alongs. That all is happening there. So come to our Ravelry group. So that leads us to the end of this episode. It should only be the like the solution of, not solution. It's just should be a summary of my knitting year and the forecast. Yeah, the forecast for the coming year, what I want to do with you together. And again, I want to say thank you. Again, really a big thank you for all the ones who subscribed my YouTube channel and who sent me friendship. I call it now questions, because that would be the German word. On Ravelry, and all the comments you wrote and the messages. The December was so lovely. Really, I loved it, and I so badly hope it will go on, that chatty and community like this, That's awesome. And I will do my best. I will really do my best to keep making videos every week on Sunday, like I did in the last weeks or month. And yeah, you are awesome. You enriched my life, and you made my year of 2017. Thank you.